I'm going to talk to you today about stays, and I'm going to use my daughter's dog. This is Jack, and Jack has been struggling with some stays, especially when the word was put on it. He's going into some avoidance when he's learning, and that when we were using food on the ground, he started to actually avoid the cookie. And when dogs go into avoidance, they actually look away from their subject. They start to walk away from their subject because they are worried that they're going to get in trouble for looking at it or going to it. And so he hasn't gotten in trouble, but we started to see that he was avoiding, or Emma started to see that he was avoiding, and Emma asked me for some advice, and I started to notice that he was avoiding any sort of food that was put on the ground, whether it be in a dish or just straight onto the ground. And so he started to go into some avoidance training, which we really want to try to avoid ourselves. However, there's a fine line between a dog needing to leave a cookie alone for leave it, and which would be forever, and learning that they can leave it alone for a moment in time, but then be given permission to go and get it. So he was just struggling. He still is struggling with that idea of stay. And so Emma has allowed me to work with him on his stay. And so I'm going to go into just a little bit about how we're working on him. So the first thing is that Emma's done a great job of teaching him about platforms. Okay. So teaching him about platforms, and he actively seeks out to get back on the platform, which is exactly what we want. And so, okay, when we work on him on stays, especially when they're struggling, a platform helps to give them some guidance. And so it's a really good way to start your stay work if they are struggling. Did you lose it? Yeah, good boy. So rewarding him for coming back to the platform. And then this is another really good trick to work on them, is that they can hold still while a cookie is coming down. And so you'll see him kind of fidget a little bit. And the more that he learns that he can hold position. Now, once I start to bring the cookie down, I do want to bring it to him. So I don't want to hover too high above his head, which becomes not hard, and then too low is too hard. So I want to find that middle ground and just kind of come down at a steady pace. But when I do make the decision to give it to him, I'm going to go straight to him. Cool. And you can see him flinch just a little bit. Let me turn him around. Okay. So I'm going to go on this side. I have dark cookies, so he's losing them in the grass. Good. All right, so same thing. I haven't asked him for a sit. He could do a stand, but this particular exercise is easier in a sit. Good, and you can see him, watch his feet, watch his head. He kind of bounces a little bit when he thinks, right there, when he thinks about going up. So I'm looking at that, and if he continues that, then I don't make it any harder. If he holds nicely, then I can make it a little bit harder. But again, I have not said the word stay at all. So now I'm going to give him, okay, I'm going to give him a release word. So one of the main components of your stay work is your release word. And when you are working on stays, so important that you try to separate the verbal that you want, so the word okay, break, whatever word you want to use, you want to separate it from your hand, okay, or from your feet. So you don't want to be moving while you say your release word. You don't want your hand moving any different than it is during your release. So your hand can be moving, okay, and he doesn't know that one. But my hand can be moving when I say the word, okay, yeah. I just don't want to add it at the exact same time. So if my hand is still, my hand remains still. Okay, good. If my hand is moving, then it remains moving. Okay, wow, very good, super. So I haven't told him stay at all. Turn around, good. But I want to make sure that my hand can move. Oop, and if he gets up, try again. Good, good. Okay. Wow. Very good. Super. Now we'll go for a still hand. Okay. Wow. Very good. Watch how responsive he is. So the second that he makes the decision, or I say the word, the second that I say the word, he's moving. Okay, wow, I mean, they're just split second, right? So if you add in your hand signal at the exact same time, that or any movement at the exact same time, then they're gonna pick up on that too. Wow, good. All right, so my hand can be moving. Okay, wow, very good. So I don't want my hand to move or my feet to move any different when I do my release. So here is me moving my hand, my feet, and my voice all at the same time. And what he picks up on is going to be the one that's most salient to him. So my hand goes down, okay. And so if I keep that up, then he's going to start to move on the drop of the hand. Okay. Or I can move forward, I can move, but it doesn't matter how I move. I don't want my movement to be with my verbal. Okay. So all he's doing now is he's watching for me, right? He's watching for that movement. See that? Right? So watching, they're very, very sensitive to movement. So I want to separate my movement from my verbal. Okay, good, very good, super. So I can be moving. The most important thing to know is that you can be moving. You just don't want to move any different than, whoop, yeah, good. You don't want to move. Oh, and I'm taking my eyes off them. Good. You don't want to move any different. Yes, good. Oh, yes, good. So do you see how we just fought to get back onto the board? I want to reward that. That's good effort on his part to try and stay on the board. Very good. Super. So I don't want my movement to be any, I don't want to be combined with my verbal. So if I'm moving, I can keep moving. Okay, yeah, and he's allowed to get up. Good job. Good job. So when we're talking about start line stays, one of the main things that happens with start line stays is the handler leads out, they hold still, then they start their forward motion. And if I start my forward motion at the exact same time that I say my word, he's going to start to watch me as opposed to listen to me. Okay, yeah, very good, super. Especially if my forward motion is connected with that verbal. Oh, you're so smart. Okay, where's the toy? Where's the toy? Where's the toy? Here's one. Woo, yeah. All right, so when we're looking at stays, there are three very important components to always pay attention to. The distance that you are from your dog. That's number one. Number two is the distraction that is going on around your dog. So whether you're the distraction or the outside environment is the distraction, pay attention to that. And three is the duration that you're forcing your dog either to stay in the stay or the length of time that you're working on the stay. Because dogs have a cutoff switch. They can only take so much. And if you bombard them with a lot of training, then it all gets harder. Okay. Yeah, good boy. Good boy. All right, so a couple of things that you can do to kind of test where your stay's at. So put your dog next to you. You can pet them if you want. And what you want to do is get them kind of holding there. And then without moving, so you're next to them, without moving, you want to see how they respond to that verbal cue. Okay. Yeah, so I want him to move out of it. I want him to know that he has permission to bounce up or to move forward. So, and right now he's only doing a sit stay. I could be working this in a down stay, which might be a little bit harder. A stand stay is for sure, a stand stay is for sure harder. So I'll show you that in a minute here. All right, so put them next to you. You can pet them. You can give them one, pet them. Okay, Yeah, so seeing how does he respond to it. So I just want to see, it kind of gives me a gauge. Is he reacting to my verbal, which the verbal I actually want to become more important than the stay itself, because it's the verbal that tells him when he can move. Are you cute? Oh, here's another really important factor of stay that a ton of dogs struggle with, and that is, can they be fed? And he still struggles with this as well. So I'm just looking for him to improve this with each, with each session that he does, and that is, can they be fed when you pull your hand away and you finish that food? Can he hold position to do it again? So does he hold in between feeding? And one of the things that's really important is how you feed your dog. So if you are covering their nose, it is harder for them if you cover their nose than if you let that nose be exposed. Okay, so pay attention to how you're feeding them. Are you making it more difficult for them? Are you forcing them to come to the cookie? Notice how his butt got up when I forced him to come to the cookie himself. And I'm doing two things when I do that. One, I'm teaching him it's a really bad habit to put his butt up, but also he's now in conflict. Should I reach for it or not reach for it? Because I've just taught him you're not allowed to reach for those, but you're allowed to grab that one. So come within their space and reward them, okay? Either from in front, try and keep that nose level, or if you're coming from the top, just come down. Okay, yeah, very good. You can see what I'd rather see is him be a little bit more sticky than him wanting to pop up. Very good. Okay, good. All right. Ooh, so pretty. Let's go this way. That was very cute. Okay, good. All right, so when working a stand stay, sometimes it helps to have a platform. Now today my platforms are offset. Okay, my platform, okay, right there. My platforms are different elevations. You can work at different elevations, but you don't need to. That just happens to be the equipment that I have here today. And so I want to try and keep his feet as still as possible. And so I want a natural stance. He's leaning a little bit, but I want a natural stance as much as possible. And then same thing. Can he hold? Okay, wow, good boy, super. I could also go back feet up, but again, it's not about the elevation. It's more about targeting his feet to one platform versus another. So when he is learning a stand stay, this is slightly easier. His back being elevated is actually quite hard, and I won't do a whole lot of it with him being so young. You can see him holding his feet on there. He just tried to shift, but this, okay. So this platform here is actually too long. So if I wanted to shorten it up, I could go this direction. Good. There you go. Very good. Super. And then go right back into my stay work. Yes. Wow. Okay. Wow. Very good. Super. Super. And you can see he actively wants to go back to the boards because they give a sense of placement for them, which really, really helps with stays. So I'm going to take him to the back side of this again. Okay. Okay. Good. Bring him up and over. Very good. Super. Try and get him holding just for a couple reps. Go back into feeding him. Good. Very good. Make sure that you change both hands. So right now I'm only on this side because of the camera. Hand does not equal a release. He starts to move, I just tell him it's inaccessible. So I did that by doing that. Okay, wow, good boy. Now notice, I don't know if you notice, I noticed when I was showing you guys that what an inaccessible hand looks like, he actually backed up. And it was interesting because when he first started to come forward, I told him that's incorrect. And then when I told him it was incorrect, when he wasn't incorrect, he actually tried to correct himself. And there was nothing to correct, but he started to back away. So you got to be very, very careful with that because he's very sensitive to it. Yeah, okay, yeah, you're not in a stay. Very good. Let's talk a little bit about distance. Oh, so pretty. Oh, so pretty. All right, when dogs are learning their stays, it's pretty common for them to put themselves in a stay. So I would pay attention to that because they will automatically put themselves into a stay. And when they do that, you need to actually release them. So he just put himself into a stay. And you need to release that to help prevent them releasing themselves, right? So some people do get very, very specific and they'll go in and they'll tap their dog's head. We don't do that in agility because we do lead outs. And so I really, really like that verbal release only. That is what I like. If I was to do a hand signal with a deaf dog, then I would make it pretty big for the dog. So it'd be something like, this is the side that I want you on, and maybe something like that, right? Like you're released. Something that tells them they're allowed to go, or maybe something like this to give them information that, hey, you're allowed to go. So just pay attention to that when they stay themselves, to go ahead and release them out of it. And sometimes when they do, especially at this age, I will just give them that quick release and then pull them off. Okay, yeah, very, very good. And I won't necessarily reward it because I never implemented it. But I do want them to know that you're okay to move. You're okay to move. You're okay to come with me, right? All right, so let's talk a little bit about distance. So when we're adding in distance, it's really important that you add in distance slowly, that they don't feel overwhelmed nor abandoned, right? And sometimes the run out of the stay is just as rewarding as going back and feeding them. So do be aware of that sometimes going back and feeding them is worse than actually releasing them to the food, okay? All right, so, okay, good boy, very, very good. So I'm gonna do some distance this direction. I'm gonna go ahead and face him just so that I'm facing you, but eventually, nope, that's not it. So I'm just gonna send him back. Very good, yes, super. And I do like to talk to him. Oh, so clever. Very good, watching this refeed. So this feed is not a release, right? He still is required to hold. Oh, so clever. I'm gonna put my hand down. Okay, wow, very, very good. Super, super job. Oh, so smart. All right, so I'll start to go side on to him. Oh, he's so clever. Okay, wow, very good. I dropped it. Where is it? Can you search? So smart. All right, making sure that I can switch hands. No, I also, okay, come on. One thing that's also important is that when I am taking them back to the board or to my sit position, I don't always reinforce that. So I will put them in it and I will withhold the cookie that I used to get them there. So I don't always reward them for the actual sitting process. Okay, wow, very good, super. And until he is, so I'm gonna give him his verbal for stay. Was it stay or wait, Emma? So he's had a negative association with the word stay that over the last month. And so I'm gonna see what he does with the word stay. And I just want you to watch his headset. Maybe I'll turn him around. Turn you around, good boy. So watch his headset when I give him the word stay. And it also could be part of a hand signal. So I've got to be careful of which one is causing the issue. Stay. Whoop. So definitely doesn't know it, right? Stay. Okay, wow, good boy. He had no avoidance there. Yeah, it was so his negative, I think, was associated with the stay with a cookie throw, is what I think. So let me see what he does with that. So I'm gonna, yeah, no, that's right. Stay. Good. Okay, good, right there. Good boy. So he lost track of it. I'm gonna do that again. Very good. Super. Sit. So this is another way that you can work your stay. Stay. See how he actively looks away from it, which means that our focus work is going to get harder. Stay. So I actually want him to look at it. Okay, wow, good boy, right there, right there, right there. So he loses track of it. He hasn't learned to track yet, which is where a dish can actually come in handy. All right, so just like my hand, so when I did this with my hand, that essentially means this is for you, this is not. So when I withhold it, I pull my hand up. The bowl's going to do the same thing. So if he starts to move, then I'm just going to lift the bowl up. He's not in trouble, but I just want to see where he's at with this because he was avoiding this a couple weeks ago. So look how good try. Good. Okay, good boy. So he fell off the board, but he really tried to stay. That was very good. Super. Can you hop it up? Super. Good. So see how he looks at it and then he tries to avoid looking at it? Whoop. Yeah. Okay. Wow. So what I would do if I was to do focus, it would probably be out of my hand. Focus. Focus. Yes. Oh, focus. Yes. Yes. Okay. Wow. Good job. I would do it out of my hand so that we don't ruin this. Sit. Good. Focus. Yes. Focus. Yeah. Good. Focus. Yes. Focus. Yes. Focus. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Very good. And I actually may change it to get it. So your words get it, right? All right. Let's try that. Focus. So see that? So see the active avoidance. We actively shied away. So we do have to be careful. So I want him to look at it, but he thinks he's in trouble for looking at it, which is a classic avoidance tactic. So have to be very careful with this training. Focus, good. Focus, good. Focus, good. Okay, get it. Yes, very good. Very good. Focus. Good. Oh, hold on. Good. Get it, get it. Wow, that was your best one. Good boy. Super. Super. So focus is a little bit of stay work in there, but focus is basically look at what I want you to look at. Right? Yeah. Focus. Focus. So see how he's avoiding? Good. Good. Focus. Good. When he looks at it, get it, get it, get it. Good boy. Very good. When he looks at it, I want to give him permission to get it. Super. That was very good. But he's very, very shy about that. Or not shy. He's very apprehensive about doing that. Focus. There. Good. Focus. Good. Focus. Good. Get it, get it, get it. Good boy. A lot of apprehension in there. He is seriously conflicted. Seriously conflicted. Good boy. You're doing great. Focus. You want to eat? Good boy. Good boy. Good. Focus. Good. Focus. So there's avoidance. Good. Get it, get it, get it. Very good. Super. So definitely Emma's going to have to be careful in that because he could actually walk away and leave the game altogether. And so having a word that means you're doing it right, but you're not rewarded yet. So that's my good. Good means keep doing what you're doing, but there's no food yet. So the release for the food is either get it, okay, a clicker would release him. Sometimes I'll use the word yes. So it depends on what I'm working on, but he's a very sensitive dog. It's quite interesting because he's quite powerful in a lot of senses, but he's actually quite soft and sensitive to getting things wrong. His resilience is still a little on the edge. He's definitely better, but he can easily be persuaded to stop playing because he's so sensitive. Huh? Okay. Yes. Oh, you're so strong, though. You're so strong. Where's your toy?